Good evening, I'm David Begnaud reporting tonight from New York. It's going to take something pretty dramatic to prevent President Trump from shutting down the U.S. border with Mexico. That's what the president's acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, said today. But critics charge this controversial move could escalate a humanitarian crisis at the border while disrupting billions of dollars in trade. Mola Lenghi's in West Palm Beach with more.
We're closing the border. They'll close it, and we'll keep it closed for a long time. I'm not playing games.
The White House doubled down on President Trump's threat to shut down the southern border.
It certainly isn't a bluff. You can take the president seriously.
With migrant holding facilities beyond capacity, the Department of Homeland Security says they're experiencing a system-wide meltdown. DHS Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen describes the number of undocumented immigrants in their custody as unmanageable, with roughly 6,600 families, including 4,700 children, currently being held.
We have never seen a surge like this.
100,000 people will cross the border this month alone. That is a crisis.
In addition to the humanitarian impact, there's potential for an economic one. More than $550 billion of goods are traded between Mexico and the U.S. each year.
When the president says he's going to close the border, that is a totally unrealistic boast on his part.
On Saturday, the Trump administration announced they will cut off U.S. aid to El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, the so-called Northern Triangle in Central America, where the majority of migrants crossing the southern border originate.
And if we're going to give these countries hundreds of millions of dollars, we would like them to do more. That, Jake, I would respectfully submit to you, is not an unreasonable position.
Democrats disagree.
What we need to do is focus on what's happening in Central America. People are desperately coming to the United States. The president's cutting off aid to these countries will not solve that problem.
President Trump threatened to shut down the border as soon as this week, but he's given no further details. He is scheduled to travel to California this week, a trip that will include a stop in the border town of Calexico. Now, the White House has not billed this as an immigration-themed trip, but all things considered, the president is expected to raise the issue in some capacity. David.
We'll all be watching. Thank you, Mola.